I'm going to speak as a professional.
Fantastic. I
I'm,
expect you to.
I'm going to try to solve the problem
Mhm.
professionally.
Absolutely.
And the only way all over the world,
Mm.
if you want to get the best from cattle, is to feed your animals well.
Mm.
There is no way a man moving from north to the south. It's like you are eating good food and you are trekking, even if you have.
Good day, good day. Yes, it's the first Wednesday of the year 2026. Startup and innovators. Now, this year we're starting a completely new trajectory of events because we've been into IT, we've interviewed people in medicine, IT, we've been going almost every sphere, digital, animation, this, but this time we're going to agriculture. Yes, today we're going to something very serious in agriculture. And when you're talking agriculture, the different type of agriculture, well, today we're looking at animal husbandry. Yeah, we have not just a startup. This guy is also an inventor. A very educated one who is very specialized in it, and he's based in Brazil. So when you hear Brazil, we hear agriculture. The only thing, or the first thing that comes to mind, is animal husbandry. Yeah, cattle and stuff. Yeah. So that's why today we have Adeola Abioye ADESOTE. Adeola, welcome to Startup and Innovators on the Atlanta Discuss channel.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure having me.
Oh yeah, it's our pleasure. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Same to you, sir. Same to you, sir.
So I mean, I've told my viewers the name is Adeola ADESOTE. I know Abiyu is your middle name. You're a graduate of animal and production and health from the Federal University of Technology, Akure. I'm going to stop at that. Your CV is fantastic. So I want you to tell us your story yourself, where you study, where you have studied, and you're in Brazil, like I told them. You tell us what you're
Sure.
doing in Brazil. So over to you. Please take your time. Let's introduce yourself. You never know who's watching or listening. Go ahead.
Thank you so much once again for having me. I'm Adeola ADESOTE.
Mhm.
By training, I'm an animal scientist
Wow.
with passion for ruminants. By ruminants, I mean cattle, sheep, and goats.
Oh, wow.
I had my diploma at the Veterinary Institute in Jos
Mm.
for 2 years between 97 and 99. I started my HND in animal health in the same institution, but I later left to to the university via direct entry, where again I studied animal production and health in FUTA, Federal University of Technology, Akure. I graduated, I served the mandatory 1 year service at the Ministry of Agric in Calabar,
Mm.
and I got into private practice in Ijebuode, visiting farms, resuscitating farms, and expertise. I spent 2, 3 years doing that, and I went to Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, for my master's in animal science. And I had my research at the National Animal Production Research Institute in Zaria, where I specialized in the feeding and management of beef cattle. And after that, I left the north again. I was born and bred in the north.
Oh,
I
wow.
left Zaria again, and I got into the Ogun State Ministry of Agriculture as an animal husbandry officer, where I served for 11 years at the Odeda Farm Institute. The Odeda Farm Institute has the Indama Cattle Project.
Mm.
This was what was left of the ranching that Awolowo introduced to the southwest. So at that center, you have Indama cattle for beef production. I was there as an instructor, where I was carrying out trainings to civil servants that are about to retire core members, youth and women group. And I voluntarily retired and I came to Brazil. I've been in Brazil now for over a year, running a PhD program in animal reproduction and cattle nutrition. And so that is what I'm doing here now in Brazil. Not just a PhD program, but I am carrying out investigative tour of the cattle industry in Brazil. Brazil is 9 times bigger than Nigeria, but we have about the same population. So there's what to copy in Brazil and there's what not to copy in Brazil, even if we have the same tropical environment. So I'm visiting farms, sleeping on farms, and I'm really in touch with the cattle owners themselves. And just recently, USDA came up with a publication that Brazil now leads the world in beef production. So when it comes to cattle, this is the best place to study cattle, and that's why I'm here. I want to get as much as I can here and see how I can contribute back to Nigeria. Thank you very much. So that's me in a nutshell.
I have to clap for you. I'm impressed. So, yeah. I mean, I'm happy it's cattle because I've had tons and tons of questions for you, and yeah, I know. I mean, I got to hear about you was through NIDO, Nigerian Diaspora Organization Americas, the Brazil chapter. They had this program that you all, pitched, your business and and all that. And you were quite extraordinary in your presentation, highly outstanding. I mean, it won't be fair to ignore you, and Nigeria has a lot to gain from you. Because you didn't say that you're a registered animal scientist, member of the Society of Animal Production, so and the Society of Grassland Research and Development. So I'm helping you to show you, as you were saying. So before we talk about your NIDO project, we're going to use a PowerPoint to show whoever is listening on that. But let me ask you, what is Brazil doing that Nigeria is not doing?
Good. Brazil is utilizing every land space to produce, to make money. Their thinking is you have to get it right from the scratch. When I got to Brazil, the first course I was asked to take was feeding the soil.
Oh, wow.
That is, before you can plant grass that cattle will eat, what food is this grass going to eat? So they started me from the grassroots. This grass requires nitrogen and phosphorus and calcium, all the minerals. So when your soil is intact, soil analysis, soil correction and balancing, when there's food in the ground, then you can plant grass. So that when your cattle is eating what it's supposed to eat. So you can have milk cheap and you can have weight gain. This is what's one thing that Nigeria is not doing. Two, Brazil is taking advantage of the tropical environments they have, and they have concentrated their kind of breeds that suits their environment. And for here, the bulk of cattle they have here is the zebu cattle. Okay. And by zebu, I mean cows that have hump at the back.
That is the kind question. Is the zebu, is it the same thing as the Sokoto Gudali?
Yes. That is the family of cattle we refer to as zebu.
I know a little about it.
So that is what Brazil is doing. So they have nutrition on one hand that is settled, and they have genetics. They have over the years developed their indigenous breed to withstand the kind of environment they have. So the breed they have now that they have developed over years through selection pressure. By that I mean they breed the best with the best. And these animals are able to survive under hot, humid, or hot, dry environments. So every year, their aim is to make sure that this generation is better than the previous. So nutrition, genetics, and management. That is what is putting Brazil at the top of milk production and beef production globally, in a nutshell. So they have feed sorted out,
Okay.
and they have genetics at play. That is what Nigeria is not doing.
But it doesn't in Nigeria. Do we know the right thing to do, or we don't know, or we know it, we just choose not to do it?
Do I can't say we don't know, but we don't have that drive. We talk about these things, but very little is on the ground.
Mm.
We talk about these things, but very little on the ground. We know these things, but where is the town gown relationship
Mm.
in Nigeria? Whatever the universities know, how much of it is transferred to farmers that is doing the real work? For
Practical.
example, yes, for example, we say, well, what they refer to is Nigeria as open grazing, let's ban open grazing. Fine, no problem. It has caused untold hardship to the Nigerians. But if you want to make these guys to settle down, where is the model for them to copy?
Mm.
Where is the model for them to copy across the state government? So we talk much and do little. There is no Holland is half the size of Kaduna State,
Yeah.
and yet they are feeding the world with milk. Holland, half the size of Kaduna State,
Kaduna State.
and they're feeding the power. They are
Even Denmark.
even in Denmark.
Yeah.
So we have no excuse not to do it. The one where we are failing is that we don't want to plant grass, that these animals will eat and drink and stay in one place. Until we do that, our indigenous breeds will not give us the best. So that is a good starting point.
Interesting.
It's yes.
I'm actually dumbfounded, because what you said, it just cut across all stratas in Nigeria. They say too much theory, too many blueprints, but just to put an action to it
Yes.
is always a problem. Now, why is it so easy for the Brazilians to be intentional? What have you noticed? Because you see, this program started by you never know who's watching, and well, I'm feeling that Nigeria is not just going to be like that forever. You understand? Something
Sure.
has to give eventually, where there has to be a renaissance, a rethink, a
Change.
rejuvenation, a calibration of some sort. And it's people like you that are the future. That's why we're featuring you. You understand? If we need to do the right, I mean, you know what's happening with the Fulani people in Nigeria.
Sure.
It's a big
Sure.
problem. It's a big
Sure.
problem. People are killing people are killing cattle. It's a lot of, and I am sure that for all those to change, you will be part of whatever process has to be done because you're not an expert in it. So let me let me reframe the question I asked you here. Why is this?
Okay.
Why can't we just be intentional about it? What's causing the limitation? Because clearly we have the expertise, we have the manpower, but what's missing? Is it a cultural thing? Is it a political thing? I'm very enough what we want to discover, but I need to ask you because you're in Brazil and you're seeing it live and direct. Is it the political will? Is it cultural? Is it that we have misplaced priorities? What do you think is the problem?
Fine. Thank you very much for that. Well, I'm going to speak as a professional.
Fantastic. I
I'm,
expect you to.
I'm going to try to solve the problem
Mhm.
professionally.
Absolutely.
And the only way all over the world, if you want to get the best from cattle, is to feed your animals well.
Mm.
There is no way a man moving from north to the south. It's like you are eating good food and you are trekking, even if you have money to enter vehicle.
Mm.
You are eating good food. There is no way that we can't continue this way. We can't be talking about cattle roads in the 21st century. I mean, all over the world, we cannot be telling ourselves cattle have the right to weigh. But one thing is clear, this age-long tradition cannot be stopped overnight. As we speak, as we speak, the bulk of meat that we still eat in Nigeria is still coming from these herders.
Mm. Why in
Yes,
other part of the country?
yes, the bulk of meat we still eat
Mhm.
today, over 80% is still coming from these herders that are moving all
Around.
over the place. Now, there are states that have been able to say, fine, we ban open grazing in this state, but what has been the success rate? Can these states point out to ranches that are now producing milk and beef? The question is no. So the missing gap is one, this change that we are canvassing for, there has to be a workable model on ground. The herder, the average herder wants to make money from his cow. If I can demonstrate to him that come to my farm, I have the same animals like you have, I have the same climate like you have, but you are getting 2 liters of milk every morning from this your cow, and this my cow I'm getting 7 liters. The next question is going to ask me is how am I doing it? And I can tell him that this is what I'm giving these animals, and I'm making more money than you, and I'm not roaming all over the place. But these models are lacking, even in government institutions.
Wow.
Even in government institutions. Then that is one. Two, political will,
Mm.
zero or little. So the or when money that is supposed to be meant for such products are not well managed, the it does not get down to the people that really needs to get it done. So these are the missing link. What we want, the nature abhors vacuum. You
Absolutely.
cannot say stop
Mhm.
when there's no better
Mm.
alternatives.
Absolutely.
You don't have to ban the importation of generators into Nigeria. Just make NEPA work.
Mhm.
Nobody will need to own his generator because it's cheaper using NEPA. So if you say you are going to ban open grazing, how much is the government encouraging their own citizens in the 36 states to go into ranching?
Mm.
Where is the security for ranchers? Many people are getting into ranching today, and there's a fear of cattle rustling because our forests, our farms are not too safe. So that is a problem, but it has a solution. There are simple solutions to all these complex problems if only our governments are truthful to themselves.
Okay.
Before I end,
Go ahead. Yeah.
Awolowo,
Mhm.
ranching was not big deal. Awolowo did
Mm.
ranching successfully in the southwest, and he did not get tribes from Sokoto or Bayelsa to come and do it at Fashola. So where did we get it wrong? So the one objective that I'm trying to push by this innovation is to say that the production of beef or milk, it is not an exclusive something that belongs to a particular tribe.
Mm.
The fact that you are an Ijaw does not makes it that it's only you that can produce fish.
Mm.
The
Okay.
man in Sokoto can produce fish. The man in, so that you are from Sokoto does not mean it is only you that can keep cattle. No, no, it doesn't. It
Let me
doesn't.
quickly ask you before we go to your project. Is there any part of Nigeria today that cannot be used for grazing?
No, you have cattle all over nationwide.
Don't worry.
The white Fulani breed, the
So
good breed,
we can do ranching. We can ranch anywhere.
in
Oh,
any
wow.
state in Nigeria,
Okay. Don't
in
worry.
any
We're
state.
pressed for time. I'm sure our viewers will love what you're saying. Let's go into your project and let's see. Let me.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So go ahead so that we can hear
Yes.
from you.
Like I said, and this is a business venture that anybody can get into it.
Okay.
If you invest in food industry, you cannot get it wrong.
Mm.
Food is every man wants to eat, and beef business is a daily demand. It is not a seasonal thing. It is not a festive thing. There's demand for beef daily. And we talk about food security, food security. The missing link there is animal protein that can come from chicken or beef or milk. And you see, if we can solve the problem of food, then our problem is half solved. So if our children are lacking animal protein, and this is affecting their mental development. So it is a venture that after you have received training, anybody can, you can do it yourself. Any profession can get into this business. Next slide. Yeah. So it is ideal for peri-urban, that is, whether you are in the rural area or you are in town, you can successfully carry out this business. Then you don't have to be from a particular region to be able to get into this business. No, no, no. Then it is a one-time empowerment. You hear our government talking about empowerment program. When a youth or an unemployed graduate is empowered, it is done. He just keeps to continue to plow back his profit. And women also can get into this project the way it is here in Brazil. So it is gender, it is for both sexes. Yeah. So the simple thing about this business is the whole summary is this: you select malnourished animal but healthy animals with good frame. You feed them on a least cost ration, using ingredients in your own locality, and you sell these animals at a premium price. Like this picture is showing what we did during COVID in 2021. The picture to my left, when we bought it, and by day 75, this is what it is weighing. So this is a summary of what this business is. So in less than 90 days, you are done. You sell these animals and you start on down. Next, please. Requirements. You require training. You have to be taught. And I can get this done in 2 weeks. 1 week in class, and the following week, we are now take you to the field to learn how to plant the grass, to learn how to select animals, to learn the kind of feed to give to these animals. And for this project, I made it so small that with a plot of land, you can start. You need this plot of land to produce what your animals will eat. And from one plot of land, you can get 23 tons of grass per year with the recommended grass species that I'm recommending. So then you establish your pasture. Please go ahead, please, and you fence it. And you fence it to prevent encroachment. Now, feed. This is the bulk of the issue. Feed will consume over 75% of your cost of production, but you must utilize locally available feed ingredients in your locality just to reduce cost. So whether you are in the northwest or you are in the southwest or you are in the southwest, you have to use feed ingredients available in your locality to prevent cost, as I listed out here. Go to the next, please. Okay. Then of course you need molasses. Molasses is an energy source, concentrated energy source, is a byproduct of sugarcane manufacture, and it is very good for fattening cattle. Then you have minerals. You will be taught how to produce minerals and give to your animals. Then medications, the kind of medications to give these animals and when to stop, so that the meat will not have any trace of antibiotics because it's going to be consumed to, to the public. So all trainees will receive all of this training for 7 days. Then we'll now take them out and to get hands-on experience. How to plant the grass, how to cut the grass, how to feed the grass, how to formulate the feed, and how to create market for their products. Next, please. Environmental concerns. This has been factored in. Now, the pen of your animals must be cleaned daily. And as you clean the dung of the animals, you pour it onto your field and it will decompose as organic manure for the grass. Then two, we are going to be utilizing amnoblast. Is a product that fights odor in around your pen, and it stops the fly from producing larvae that brings about unpleasant odor. So your neighbor will not even know you are keeping animals. And the financials. Here, I've said this training will cost each participant 250,000. Training materials inclusive, and the participant, if he does not have land, can lease a plot of land. So there is no excuse. You can lease a plot of land on a 3-month basis for each cycle at this price, and then you can plant. You have to fence that plot of land to prevent encroachment. Then you now plant the cost of seed, the clearing of your site of your site, and soil, the preparation of the soil, all has been factored. Fertilizer at 125,000, and you can now go ahead to purchase um, 2 animals. And when that is done, you feed them for a period of 90 days. It could be less. It could be less. This is concentrate feed apart from the grass you'll be cutting and giving to them. And with 90,000, with your feed ingredient, you'll be able to feed these bulls with molasses, medication, feed trough, security, personal expenses. Within these 90 days, you go into an expenses of 1.6 million. Don't forget, you got 2 million to start this business. So by 90 days, your expenses should close to 1.6, and you have a balance of 345,000. And next, please. And so you see, with what I showed you, that animal that I showed you at the end of 75 days, at today's market value in the southwest, it cannot be less than 950,000. But all these figures that I've put here is the worst case scenario. Anybody that gets into it is going to make far more. But this is just the worst case scenarios. So I said, at the end of the day, he makes each bull will sell for 750,000 each. I know for sure by 2026 it's going to sell for close to 1 million naira. So more profit. So with what he makes, it goes back again, buy another 2 bull, and continues repeating the cycle. So
Wow.
for a short, with 2 million, you are out of poverty, you are out of unemployment, and any profession can get into it.
All right. So I have some questions because I'm excited about it. Now, how many, I mean, the cows do have children. They call them cows, right? They give birth. So the 2 you are going to buy, they're going to be 1 male, 1 female, correct?
No. This is feedlots.
Okay.
In feedlot, you buy only male animals.
Only
You
male.
pattern and they go for slaughter. You are not trying to reproduce. You are You are trying to produce meat for slaughter, not breeding.
Okay. I get it. So the producing meat for it's a complete another different
So,
blueprint. Yeah, the blueprint for that is different.
yeah. It's different. It's different.
So you buy 2 males and they are ready after 90 days, they are ready to be sold.
Yes, they're ready for sale or slaughter.
So
They're ready.
yeah. So let's say you invest cumulatively, you invest 2 million or two, and you are selling at say 950 each. That's 1.8 million. I'm sorry, 1.9.
Yeah. Yes.
So you're still not breaking even.
No, no. If you look at it at the second cycle,
Okay.
when I go to buy, he goes back. By the second cycle, he's not planting grass again,
Okay, that's true.
not planting fence again.
Oh, okay. The profitability comes in the second cycle.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
so as he continues the
Yeah.
cycle, his profit goes up, up,
You're
up, up.
already, your fence is there, the basic
All the fence is there, the weather is there,
70,
the
80%
structure
of the
is
cost
there.
is already
So
different.
you
Okay.
just
All
continue to
right.
make like that.
Oh,
Yes.
interesting. So now, having said all this, it's from what I've seen, let me tell you what my observation is. I think it's the details that we are scared of. You understand?
Yeah.
You put it in very little detail, but I think we're just being scared of being what should I use for it? We're looking at rudimentary analysis now, detail.
Yes.
We just feel that let's have cow because it's easier to just move the cows around, eat people's farmland, eat people, you understand, carry 10, 20, 500 cows around because it looks
It's,
more convenient. What you explained here will give us healthier cows, stronger cow, fantastic protein, healthier
it's
population as a matter
safe
of
environment. Safe environment with
safe
neighbors.
environment. That's true. That's true. Wow. 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 I mean, this is overwhelming. Yeah.
And it does not stop you from engaging. It is not as demanding as poultry.
Hmm.
It,
Okay.
it does not stop that youth or training from engaging in
Other
other things. He wakes up in the morning, he feeds his animal, and is off.
I like the part that he said it doesn't even smell. It doesn't affect the neighbor when you add is
No,
there ammonia or something
with
like that.
with that powder, it takes care of. But that's why I said it can come into peri-urban. You don't have to go down into the bush where there's insecurity challenge to do your business.
Okay, one more question before we go.
Yes.
I wish we had more time, but time is never our friend. Do cows attack people? I've seen, I mean, I'm from Southwest too. We kill cow for salad, cow for burial,
Yeah.
cow for this cow. I've seen pictures of cow attack people and all that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, is that how do you handle that? What makes a cow attack people? The
Yeah,
danger
you.
is it part of the training, how to maintain
Yeah,
them?
it's part of the training.
And finally, before
You
you quickly so that I can
okay?
how do you slaughter? If you have to do, how do you slaughter? If you want to slaughter yourself, how do you do it? I know
Okay,
you
thank
have
you very much.
mechanism for it, so I want to talk about that's your last question.
Okay, with the issue of attack, you see me putting in bracket details in training, details in training, details in training.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The participant will be taught
Hmm.
how to select animals.
Okay.
When you go to buy a vicious animal,
Mhm.
definitely that animal will not put on weight.
Hmm.
The selection for this kind of animals, you have to look out for docility. Is a trait
The
when
trade.
you want to fatten animals.
Animal.
So they will be trained on the kind of animals to select. They will also be trained on the handling. Now, when you have been trained, it is solved.
Hmm.
Then an animal you feed every day
Mhm.
knows the owner, so it will not attack you. It's
Oh,
already
okay.
like a pet. Then the animal will be restrained. The animal will be restrained. So that case is unsettled. Then on the issue of slaughtering, you may not need to slaughter. You can call a buyer to just buy your
Ah,
animals
yeah,
outright.
exactly. Okay.
But if you decide to go into slaughtering,
Mhm.
then you will need those details.
Hmm.
One, you cannot slaughter in your house. You have to take that animal maybe to a registered slaughter slab
Mhm.
or abattoir.
Mhm.
You can tell them, okay, you slaughter there and you sell your animals there that same day. You even make more money. because I've done that for years, and that's why you see butchers now. You see them buying cheap, buying Camry. Why? When they buy an animal that is 1 million at 7 a.m., it is slaughtered and it is divided into four. Each of those four is like 240,000. They're divided into four, two limbs, two legs. Each of it now today sells for 245,000.
Wow.
So they have made their money straight. They still have the head, they still have the skin that in the southwest they call pomo. That's going to make sales from there. That's going to make sales from the internal organs, the shaki, the rumen, the intestine. So by 11 a.m., each of those buta will go home with a profit of close to 200,000.
Wow.
This is abattoir daily business. But you need to learn that art. You need to learn that art. You need to, so that is how they make their money. So that's why I said if he decides to slaughter, he will even make more money than just calling a butcher to come and buy an animal. So you can do it that way, or you can slaughter and sell on a per kilo basis. A kilo of beef in Nigeria now is 8,000 per kilo.
Let
So
me ask you one more question. Sorry, go. Finish what you're saying before
yeah. So if you don't want to go that route, you can slaughter, register a meat mart, and sell your beef on a per kilo basis, either pure beef, bone in, viscera, and you pay and you sell. There again is another avenue for marketing. So it can be live sales. You take your animals directly to the abattoir, you slaughter it and sell, and by 12 noon you make your profit, you come home. Or you have a meat mart where you slaughter your animals, but there you have to factor in energy, storage, to put them in deep freezers, chillers, and you begin to sell on per kilo basis. Either way, you have to know the art of the business and how to create markets for your product.
Okay. So you were in the civil service in Ogun State. You said you were within
Sure.
that project in Odeda.
Sure.
So let me ask you, statistically, how many cows are slaughtered in Ogun State daily? Do you know that? I mean, if you don't know, no problem. I'm just trying to.
There are no data. If I give you data, maybe data of 3-4 years ago.
It doesn't
But
matter.
this
It
is
doesn't matter. Just keep it. Doesn't matter if it's 3
3-4 years ago. 3-4 years ago.
When you were still there, yeah.
Every day in northern Nigeria, on the average, 10,000 heads of cattle are loaded into vehicles.
Wow.
10,000. And out of these 10,000, 6,000 gets into Lagos.
Oh, wow.
That is what we count from the Ministry of Agric and Ministry of Veterinary and Agric. 6,000 enters Lagos every day.
Wow.
And if one is going to sell for 1 million, that gives you a set of this value chain that we are talking about. 6,000 times 1 million. So in Abeokuta, if I tell you it is 1 million, it is 1,000 heads is being slaughtered, maybe in Lafenwa, in Ijebu-Ode, in Ijebu-Igbo, maybe 850, 750. I'm just looking at Lagos population vis-a-vis population. But everything is sold and everything is consumed.
Wow.
Yeah.
But the market is there. It's a viable.
It's a daily market. It's a daily market. It's a daily market.
Must eat amala now, eat eba, you know, and those things come with meat and all that. Thank you, Adeola. Thank you for your time. Thank you for.
Thank you.
So, when you finish your PhD, are you coming back to Nigeria, or you are going to stay in Brazil and continue to make more money?
The money is in Nigeria.
Yeah, I like that.
As I told you, we have the same population.
I like that.
What we don't have is land. The demand, learning here is just learning to do it right. So the money is in Nigeria, not in Brazil. If I'm in Brazil here, I cannot work here and work here and work here and work here. In Nigeria, I can do that. I can quickly own a ranch in Nigeria, and the money is in Nigeria, not Brazil. But the knowledge is here. That's why I'm here.
I'm tempted to ask you another question, but I'm pressed for time, but I'll still ask you. I know a lot of corned beef comes from Argentina and Brazil, you understand? And I know it's also cow meat. You understand that kind of thing. Is the corned beef thing, is this something you also understand how to do? Do you know, theoretically speaking, do you understand the scope of business, how it is done?
Yes. JBS, what we refer to as Jotabes,
Okay.
JBS is the largest meat company in the world.
Oh, wow.
They are based in Brazil.
Oh.
I met them in April in Abeokuta, and we sat down to talk. I mean, that was the people the president signed an MOU with.
Okay.
So
they are waiting for you now in Nigeria to come and work for them.
So what they do is that they go to farms and they buy animals based on live weight.
Okay.
You bring in your cow, it climbs the scale and it weighs. So in Brazil here, it is sold on what they call arroba. That is 300 kg equals certain agreed amount. It differs from state. Paraiba state can sell 325 per arroba. One arroba equals 15 kg live weight.
Okay.
In Magugusu, it can be 350 reals per arroba. So when an animal climbs the scale and it is weighed, you already know what you will be paid. So he buys live weights from farm and he takes it to a slaughterhouse and it is slaughtered. So that is how Brazil, and 80% of what these animals eat is grass. But like I said, they have nutrition, they have genetics, and they have management. In 2 years, these animals are weighing 850 kg.
Wow.
In less than 2 years. Our animals will attain that weight in 8 years. So the difference is wide. The difference is wide. So everybody goes into it because they are utilizing the land. Every year again, they take samples of the soil, analyze it, and put in the right fertilizers, plant the right grass, and bring in animals, fast-growing animals.
The summary of this for me is that there has to be a scientific approach. Case closed.
There's no way you can beat the man going about with his cattle if you don't do what I'm saying. And it's simple.
Wow. Thank you, Adeola ADESOTE. Thank you so much. The big one, the compete for maybe later we'll talk about it. We'll bring you here to talk about that. Now you've all heard from Adeola. His number is going to be on the chat box. If you want to learn, reach out to him. Reach out to him. He will teach you. He's in Brazil. But I know these days there's virtual learning for anything. Even if you have to take you to site, there's always a way around it. You can look at picture of him doing it where he is. He's Nigerian, he's true born, he's from Ogun State. He's worked with the Ogun State government, he's been former civil servant, he has OND, HND, BSc, MSc, everything. He's doing his PhD now. He's as good as he gets, you understand? So there's no point having people like this and still be in the Fulani Hada issue in Nigeria, and I'm sure it's not the only one. I'm sure there are more of you there where you are, you understand? So thank you, Adeola. Thank you for your time. To all our viewers, it's a wrap there. You see, we're starting with agriculture.
And thank you to Nigel for the privilege.
You're most welcome. You'll be back. Trust me, I'll bring you back. We are starting with agriculture, so no excuse. Don't tell me it's just IT, medicine.
No. Food first.
Food first.
Food first.
Yeah, feed the nation and the rest. Take care, everybody. See you next week.
Thank you very much. Ciao. Bye.